the wind is definitely something to talk about. It gave me a new hairstyle today.
Yeah.
I said that's a real blowout.
Yeah, I don't even
so
mess with my hair until later. Yeah, because the wind, it's all over the place. And unfortunately, it's going to be windy for a long time. I actually had someone message me the other day, when is this wind going to be light? I need to do a bonfire. Well, I said, you know, next Monday is looking like we're going to have that wind that will be a little bit lighter, but it is just going to blow today. And we are starting to see decreasing clouds, lots of sunshine across the west, and it's certainly dry in far western Oklahoma. We do have that dry line moving into the southwest part of the state right now. Cold front moving in from the northwest, but all in all, it is very quiet across Oklahoma for now. The Search and Cachet camera, part of our Pike Pass Skycam network, clear skies, 79 degrees, a south-southwest wind at 24, wind gusting up to 32 miles an hour. Temperatures already in the upper 80s in southwest Oklahoma. It is going to be very hot and windy in that part of the state today, where we still have the cloud cover. We actually still have some low and upper 50s in eastern Oklahoma, and behind that cold front, temperatures in the 60s and 70s right now in the Panhandle. We've got a south wind between about 25 to now 42-mile-an-hour wind gust in El Reno, but in northwest Oklahoma, it is out of the north and west between about 20 to 35. You can kind of see where that dry line is eventually going to be setting up here. It's going to be even drier than this later this afternoon, but dew points well into the 60s now across central Oklahoma, basically along and east of I-35. So a little bit more moisture, a little bit more instability for those storms that could potentially develop later today. But in the meantime, the other threat is really going to be that extremely high fire threat in western Oklahoma. So dealing with a couple of different things as we go throughout the day today. Eventually that cold front will be moving in, but it's really not going to do a whole lot for us. It could help to initiate some showers and storms later today, but all in all, that chance for storms will be very low this afternoon. In fact, this particular model is saying it doesn't happen this afternoon. In fact, a lot of the data is saying we're not going to have any storms, but some data does bring in a couple of isolated storms later this afternoon and evening. We will be watching that. Some of the data is actually agreeing that eventually later tonight, probably around midnight or so, we're going to have some more storms. It looks a little bit more likely in far eastern Oklahoma. And then as we go throughout the day tomorrow, we're still going to have that dry line out west, and there's a potential for more storms in parts of western Oklahoma that could eventually make their way across I-35, but eventually fall apart. Same thing on Friday. That dry line is actually going to be retreating a little bit farther to the west, so we're still going to have another chance of rain and storms, but in far western Oklahoma and out in the Panhandle. And each one of those days where we do have a chance of storms, there will be a threat that if they were to develop, they could become severe. So today, hot and windy, high of about 89 degrees here in Oklahoma City, but we were easily going to reach in the mid and upper 90s in southwest Oklahoma. Again, with that south wind in between 20 to 40, but gusts a little higher than that this afternoon. So 4 storm chances. All in all, it's not going to get any better than about a 20% chance later this afternoon. It's much more likely that we will be staying dry later today. However, if these storms were to develop, there would be a threat that they would become severe. And if they were to become severe, there's plenty of energy that we could have up to tennis ball size hail, wind gusts to up to 75 miles an hour, and a low tornado threat. But again, that tornado threat would be very low. It's basically along and east of I-35. There's going to be a short window for that. For its wind speeds, we're talking anywhere between 65 to 75 miles an hour at its highest potential, and also up to tennis ball size hail. Again, if these storms develop at all. And then later tonight and into tomorrow morning, again, the better chance for storms will still be in eastern Oklahoma, just keeping a slight chance for maybe some showers in Oklahoma City. Temperatures only dropping down into the 60s for most of us tonight, and tomorrow it's going to be hot and windy again. Highs in the mid 80s, the upper 80s and low 90s, and southwest Oklahoma potentially as hot as about 95 tomorrow in Woodward. A slight chance of rain and storms across western and central Oklahoma tomorrow afternoon and evening. And again, there would be that threat of very large hail, wind gusts of 75 if those storms were to develop. On Friday, kind of the same thing, 86 degrees, so mid and upper 80s for western and central Oklahoma with that south wind between 20 to 40. And this time, it looks like it's going to be even more windy in western Oklahoma with wind gusts potentially over 50 miles an hour. and a very slight chance of rain and storms ahead of that dry line in the Panhandle and far western Oklahoma. I do not have any storm chances for Oklahoma City on Friday, but they do return as we get into Saturday. A slight chance during the day, but I think later in the evening, it looks like more of a nighttime event Saturday night into Sunday, where we have a much stronger wave that will move through that it looks like it would bring a much higher chance of rain and storms. So potentially maybe some rain out of this one. But again, today, storm trackers, they're still going to be out. They're still going to be in place. But all in all, those chances for storms are going to be very low.
Okay, we know if something happens, you guys will be letting us know. Thank you so much, Cass.